What's up everybody, it's Man of Low Moral Fiber here, my name's Luke, and in this video I'm going to be continuing my Overpower Level 8 Sniper Zer0 playthrough. The previous episode of this series has brought us here to Lynchwood, and I guess we'll go ahead and knock out some Lynchwood quests. The Lynchwood quests can be fairly difficult. It's been a while since I've done them, and I've never done them as Sniper Zer0, so we'll see if we actually have some trouble with them here. Now, this area of Lynchwood, referred to as Main Street, kind of has infinitely spawning enemies. I'm not sure if they're on a timer or if they're replaced one by one as you kill these enemies. And so we'll need to be a little bit careful here. Got a fire damage over time guy already. But killing every enemy in here will be kind of a fruitless endeavor because obviously these enemies do just kind of respawn and you won't ever actually be able to fully clear it out. And because of that, we'll only kill the enemies that we absolutely need to for safety. That guy was doing a cool little dance. Sounds like there's another damage over time guy back here. We'll just kill the guys that we need to, like I said, in order to get up here and find the laxative that we're going to need to eventually make the skag puke this bomb up. Now, I'm trying to do this in an order that is going to be somewhat time efficient because there is a lot of walking back and forth. I guess the end goal of this is to eventually kill the Sheriff of Lynchwood, Nisha, which will be a good thing because I'm not appreciative of her action skill in Borderlands, the pre-sequel. I think it's kind of insulting to the player, honestly. Since I'm here, though, in Main Street, I guess now is a good time to start the Dukina Saga. I got the last vowels mixed up there. The Dukino Saga is what we're trying to do here, so since the skag chews are over by the sheriff, which we will eventually get to, now is a good time for us to free Dukino and then get the medicine over here. So that's what we're doing. Alright, so like I said, all of these guys are kind of infinitely spawning, so using deception to kind of sneak away from these guys here, that's one thing Zer0 can do that is kind of helpful. And then we'll jump here and get the skag medicine. And now, since no guy really has a great line of sight on me right now, I'm just going to kind of wait until I have my deception back. And then we'll be able to sneak over here and get to Dukino again to feed him the medicine. Now, we are going to have to figure out a way to get back out of this area. And at the time in which we have to do that, we may, kill a few enemies, get a follow-through bonus, and just prepare to do that. Now these guys are kind of charging at us here. Looks like I thought it was a second quest that we actually picked up after giving the medicine to Dukino, but I guess it just rolls right into the skag chews, which isn't terrible for us because it will allow us to concentrate on actually getting past these enemies here. So that guy was running at me and I was unable to score a critical hit on him somehow, and that caused me to miss a few critical ascension stacks. Now, these guys are spawning in bulk right now, which is super aggravating. But we'll eventually get these guys killed enough to where I can kind of sneak out of here, I imagine. We'll see. Alright, so I don't want to advance too far and have enemies spawned on both sides of me. So I'll just try to do it as efficiently as I can here. Now that I have a few stacks of critical ascension and there's a guy up here, I can kind of execute to him and sneak out of here a little bit quicker. Excellent. Got a follow-through bonus and a grim bonus there, which should help with my survivability. So we'll leave the Dukino quest alone for a minute and we'll go ahead and switch it to the Breaking the Bank quest. So we need to get some explosives from Mad Dog up here. I guess since I'm passing this ammo, it only makes sense to go ahead and just restock on ammo. Not that we would have necessarily needed it. We did have 39 rounds and still had 5 grenades. But passing the ammo chest, it just seems smart for me to do. Because we do have quite a bit of fighting to do up here. We're going to have to take out Mad Dog. Possibly some skags on the way up to Mad Dog. And also, we're just going to have to... None of these enemies really have the accuracy to hit me, so I guess I'll kill that little guy. And maybe we'll kill this Bone Crusher as well. Excellent. So now we'll move forward. Now, if there's a rabid skag or a badass elemental skag down here, we'll kill that. If not, speaking of rabid skags, if not, we would have just run to that elevator there. But I think it's probably prudent to kill this rabid skag. Jump over the rabid skag there to avoid the damage from him. And then sometimes when they're turning around, they're easy to get critical hits on like that. Other times, it's not so easy to get critical hits on them. Excellent. So one of the bandits has decided to follow me all the way up here, or all the way down here, I guess. He needs to die, just like those skags did. And then we will be moving on. Now up here there will be several rats, and these rats can be kind of dangerous, and we're just going to have to clear out all these rats in this area, most likely. And then we will head up and kill Mad Dog and his accompanying rats. I haven't really fought Mad Dog with Sniper Zer0. I assume his main tactic is throwing grenades, but I don't really know all of the intricacies of all of the mini-bosses because I usually one-hit them with Melee Zer0. I guess I should go ahead and show my gear and skill build real quick. I've used primarily the same gear for this particular series. I have switched the Bone of the Ancients a few times, and I have sometimes used different elemental Lyudas, but for the most part I've been using the Fire, Slag, and Corrosive Pimpernel. I think I used the Shock Pimpernel at one point in time, obviously in combination with whatever Lyuda I was using, depending on what kind of area I was in, and that's just kind of what I've been doing so far. Now, these field rats are dangerous enemies. We'll have to kill these guys. I ran into a couple field rats in the area at which we're going to have a skag eat the bomb in the previous episode, that once they were knocked from their skag that they were riding on, actually could not be slagged, and that was rather difficult, and those enemies may be kind of tough for us. So at the point in time which we go do that, we'll watch out for those particular enemies. That particular rat didn't want to move around, which I guess is a good thing. Some of these rats can be very difficult to get critical hits on because their movement is very erratic, because they're always trying to pick up the ammo drops and money drops and everything else. And because of that, it actually makes them more difficult than your standard bandit, I would say. I don't think they have quite as much health as your standard bandit, but because their head movement is so erratic and their movement pattern is so erratic, sometimes they're not even like backpedaling, they're just running to the next item that is dropped, and sometimes that can just make it very difficult to deal with these guys. For whatever reason, they like to be kind of tough. Alright, so I could, in the effort of total efficiency, go ahead and drop that bomb cart thing and pick it up and push it into the thing, but instead what I'm going to do is clear out all these rats up here and then kill Mad Dog, just because I think that that is probably the more safe thing to do. And I'm pretty sure that that 310 to Kaboom quest where we blow up the train actually does have a timer on it, and so I just don't want to run out of time, basically. Or, you know, be forced to move quickly because of the lack of time, and then just put myself in a bad spot damage-wise and stuff. So that's what we're trying to avoid, and I think it just makes sense to do it this way. So Mad Dog should be spawning any moment now, and we'll just be careful when we see him. I think he's going to have some very powerful grenades. I remember seeing him at a low level, but I could be wrong. Oh, there's Mad Dog. So probably poor form on my part to let a mini-boss completely sneak up on me like that. But that's okay. The other enemies are around the corner there, and I was able to kill Mad Dog before he really threw anything too dangerous at us. Like I said, I assume he throws grenades. I could be wrong. Oh, Mad Dog's kind of sitting there, doing his thing. We'll look at him after we kill these other dudes. Like I said, these rats are extremely aggravating to take out sometimes, just because they're constantly moving, ducking, and it's just a pain in the ass to hit them in the head sometimes. See, I don't even know where he's going. He's just... Oh, I got a good jump kill on him. He's just moving to move, and frankly, the rats are way more irritating than your average bandit to me. Preemptive slag grenades because, you know, fuck these guys, basically. I guess we can go ahead and pick up this objective. Oh my god.
Explosives, huh? That ought to be fun.
So one of them at least has a powerful weapon at the very least, and I need those transfusion trails, but we're so far away they may die out. Luckily, we were also so far away that the enemy's guns aren't that accurate, and we've got it down to just one enemy now. And we'll go ahead and get some kunai and slag on him, hopefully. And that's good, because I was low on ammo because these little fuckers were stealing all the ammo. Now I'm back at max ammo, though. We can see Mad Dog here. He's got a little spinny thing on his chest. I don't know if he's trying to smoke those dynamite or what he was doing here. Smoking dynamite's probably super good for your health. I would like to find some ammo chest just to kind of augment my grenade stash right now, because it is extremely low. And I guess we'll also kill this field rat because we're here. And I've wasted a couple more grenades trying to get him slagged at this point. Excellent. So I did hit a critical hit on him. So there should be some ammo boxes somewhere. This particular thing should usually spawn quite a few grenades for us. 3 at least, so that's not terrible. Got us to 4, which is kind of a good thing because now we can open a couple more ammo chests and probably still have the weighted grenade drops, so that would be good. Or I guess that got me to 5. Now I'm not quite as worried about my grenade stash, but if I do come across some ammo boxes, we will be utilizing them. Anyway, now we can do this 310 to Yuma quest. Oh, I guess there are some more rats down here. I thought I had killed all the rats down here, but maybe one respawned, or I had missed a couple for whatever reason. There's one over there. I don't know where he is exactly. We're going to be killing this guy because I don't want him to start moving around on us. We have to eventually go back there, but right now I guess we'll do this. So we're going to need to hit the little thing here and then get to this thing and stop the bomb. This is actually a failable quest, and I believe you have to go all the way back to the starting area of Lynchwood in order to pick up the quest again, and that's obviously something we want to avoid. So this little cart's going to come in here. I'm not sure if it can kill you, but maybe I should have tested that. Not sure if that thing can kill you either. I think some of the scenery in Lynchwood can definitely kill you. I know that those drill things out there can. Anywho, we're going to push this in here, and then we're going to go blow up the train. Now, as we get to the detonator for the bomb cart, it's important not to blow up the little bomb cart until it's actually underneath the train, because that can actually fail the quest as well. And I've had that happen to me before. So we're going to avoid that at all cost. Oh, I thought that was an enemy. It's just Mad Dog's corpse. Heh. He's smoking dynamite. Alright. So, we'll head up here and, you know, start this little next section. Don't blow this up until this is underneath that. There we go. Excellent. So we can turn that quest in at the point in time at which we're going to turn in the quest. Breaking the bank. And after we do that, we can accept the quest to kill the sheriff. So that's our ultimate goal. It'll take quite a bit of time to get to that. I think that the next portions do take a bit of time. Hopefully that corrosive damage over time doesn't wear through my shield. It was kind of stupid to blow up the barrel and then walk through it. Look at that. It took about half my shield down. That kind of sucked. Anyway, there are these things up here, and we'll just try to bore those like that, because that's definitely a better way of taking them out than getting in a position where you kill the skag before you kill the skag rider, because you can't kill the skag rider as easily because it cannot be slagged. So just look for bore shots on these guys, I guess. I'm actually going to shoot it with a fire Pimpernel here because the guy is weak to fire, and then I won't kill the skag as easily. And when the rider is actually on top of the skag, he can still be slagged. It's when he's off of the skag that he can no longer be slagged, and that makes him a lot more difficult. So we're trying to avoid that. Mole rat. Haven't seen those too often. I guess they're disappearing rats. That's not something I'm a fan of at all. We melee zeroed him there. Deception and killing blow. That guy got killed by the thing. That's kind of funny. Alright. I knew I didn't need a critical hit on that dude, so I just finished him off like that. Another Skag Rider here, slagging the Rider, and then switching to a Fire Pimpernel in order to kill the Rider. Definitely want to kill the Rider before we kill the Skag. That way we can not have to deal with the Field Rat once he is off of the Skag, because that is obviously a lot tougher to deal with than the Skag itself. So yeah, that's definitely the strategy that I'm adopting after having a little bit of trouble with that in the previous episode. They don't bore quite as easily as I thought they would, but if you kill them that way, they still die fairly easily, so that's a good thing. Otherwise, they can be pretty damn tough. Alright, so we're going to go over here and place this Skag bait. Just place the bomb here and then cover it in laxative. And a little Skag's going to come out and eat that. And then he'll throw it up. So, that's pretty good. I was hoping I'd get some ammo out of that little pile, but I guess not. He puked that up for us. Oh, now he wants to fight. That's an angry little fella. Alright. Shooting, smashing that. Alright. I don't know where that mole rat came from. I thought I had killed all the enemies back here, but apparently I had missed a mole rat and another Skag Rider as well. I don't know what kind of gun that guy has, but it doesn't look fun. So we'll kill it. Just kind of killing this guy as I back out of here. I don't want him chasing me. Cool. So now we need to go to the bank and blow it up. Maybe we'll stop by the train station and buy ammo before we do that. We do have 53 rounds of sniper ammunition and 5 grenades. So at approximately half of each, exactly half of the grenade stash and a little under half of the sniper stash. I guess it just makes sense. We may have to fight a fair number of enemies as we go to the next part. So I'll just lower that just in case I... Oops. I'll lower this just in case I have to come back. I don't remember coming back. Why doesn't that have a texture? That's disgusting. Speaking of disgusting nonsense, YouTube has not processed my previous 2 videos in 1080p yet, and I have no reason why it does that. I uploaded both of those videos, like I try to do all my videos, in 1080p 60 frames per second, because I think that provides the optimum viewing quality for YouTube and stuff. So, I mean, obviously, I guess 4K 60 frames per second would be a little bit better, but few people have 4K monitors, and so I'm not going to go out of my way to try to record in 4K and stuff. I guess I could do it with the dynamic super resolutions in Borderlands 2, but it's not necessary. I think 1080p and 60 frames per second is probably a good YouTube standard for at least the next couple of years. I could be wrong. We could advance it in resolutions very quickly here in the near future, but I don't think that's the case yet. So I'm going to get ready to blow this door. I know that there are quite a few enemies that spawn right as we blow the door, including several marshals, which are basically just glorified nomads with different names and hats. So we'll let that guy kill himself. Yikes. I thought there would be some cover in here, but no cover because that would make too much sense, I guess. We'll try to get these transfusion trails coming. Excellent. So we got the transfusion trails. Now we'll kill these marshals and Bone Crusher here. And then we can proceed and loot the bank vault. At the point in time in which we loot the bank vault, we are going to have to open 25. It says right there on the HUD. I was trying to remember. I think you can mass pick up all of the cash, so I'm just going to try to open all the doors and then mass pick up. It's a little bit hard to do that, unfortunately, but you can save a little bit of time that way, I guess. Unfortunately, I guess I should have gone top to bottom. My mistake there. Anywho, we got all the money now, and now we need to, quote-unquote, get out of town before the sheriff's posse comes at us. And there are going to be several dudes that spawn ambush style as you try to sneak out of here, so deception will help us with that. We'll try to put some cover between myself and those enemies, and that's good. Alright, so these Lynchwood quests definitely aren't short. They're pretty involved. What I don't know is if all of these rats are going to spawn up here as we're actually trying to hide the money. I do think that they will, but maybe they won't. Who knows? I don't see a ton of rats yet, and usually there are a ton of rats up here. So I guess during this quest they kind of hide these rats because we are going to be fighting quite a few of these sheriff's posses up here. Those angles that they were at made them especially easy to bore. And maybe these nomads are a little bit easier to bore. Yeah, the nomads are definitely easier to bore than the field rats due to them being fatter and stuff. Okay. So that's good. That should make this particular portion a little bit easier, which is not an unwelcomed addition here. Lynchwood's kind of tough, and so, you know, if we can bore those guys and make it a little bit easier, I'm not going to complain too much about that. Got more guys coming. Excellent. So, bore's definitely working well on these guys right now. Probably want to kill the dudes with the guns before we deal with the skags here. Excellent. So that's good. That guy flew way up in the air. That's pretty funny. Okay. I think that in this particular cave there are going to be some rats spawning. So we'll need to deal with them appropriately. We'll back out of the cave if need be. Just one rat. Oh, now we got two rats. So try to kill that rat first since he had the line of sight on us. And now we'll try to kill this rat. Excellent. Lyuda helped us out there with its unique spread. More rats. Prioritize the gun rat here. And then we'll deal with the big ROUS here. Mutated lab rat. Alright, cool. They should have kept it with the ROUS. I like that particular illusion. Anywho, we are moving forward, and we're going to get to the last evidence stash here. Looks like we've got a little bit more of the boreable sheriff's posse to take out, and we'll get ready for that. Now, those little skag balls that they're shooting don't seem to be doing that much damage, but now's not probably the time to make sure that that is glitched. But it does appear that that is kind of like Hurley's barrels, where those little explosions aren't doing as much damage as they should be. So the sheriff's posse is a lot easier than the actual skag riders back there, simply because they are more boreable, and that's alright. Those field rats are pretty damn tough, and especially if you knock them off, or if you kill the skag and then they're free to roam, those guys can be pretty damn irritating. So I'm unsure if I want to take the long way around or try to sneak through Main Street. I think the easiest thing to do would be this, to be honest with you. And I'm not ashamed to do that. Saves a little bit of time here. So we'll do that. I have no problem with that, actually. Cool. So we're good here. We'll turn both of these in. And now we'll pick up the Showdown quest. Alright, so we'll head over into the sheriff's area. I hope that the game doesn't do the thing it did with those rats up there and not spawn all of the enemies leading up to the sheriff fight. I would like for all of the bone crushers and other nonsense to be here as we go up to fight the sheriff, because we could build critical ascension, which would be very, very nice and very, very handy in this particular area, because I believe the sheriff fight might be kind of tough otherwise. It looks like those guys aren't spawning. So I guess in this particular map, they decided to make the enemies not spawn if you have another quest open that is, occupying that area, which I guess is good game design. It's definitely something I wish they would have done for the stupid, what's that called? Union quest or whatever it is. In the pirate DLC where you have to kill those pirate skiffs. But here, it would have actually helped me out to be able to build critical ascension as we worked our way up to the sheriff. But that's okay. It's not a huge deal. So, I know that as I get a little bit closer to that, she's going to spawn, and all of these marshals and stuff that you see will become hostile enemies, and that will be a somewhat dangerous thing for us because the cover in this particular area isn't the best. If any of those dudes spawn with damage over time guns, we're going to need to prioritize them. And the sheriff will sit up here and not come down for at least a little bit usually. And she may be able to be critical hit up there, but it may also be a situation where we have to wait for her to jump down a little bit and just kill a few marshals that will eventually encourage her to jump down, because that's what I've seen before. Oh, she's already jumped down. That is a quick jump down for her. I've noticed fighting her with Melee Zero a couple times. I did have to kill a large amount of the marshals and stuff before she actually jumped down. So that was kind of surprising to me that she decided to come down so quickly. And that fight was a lot easier than I had expected it to be. So that's good. We'll go ahead and pick up the rest of these Skag Tongues real quick. And we'll turn that into Dukino, and then we'll turn this quest into Brick. And I guess that will be the end of this episode. Didn't do too bad. Lynchwood's usually pretty difficult, but so far in this playthrough, or this episode, we haven't run into too many issues. There's a slag damage, or slag isn't a damage over time. There's a slag elemental dude up there. We don't want to be slagged while there are a bunch of other enemies around, so we'll try to kill him before we get slagged. Looks like some dudes are starting to spawn behind me, so now that the sheriff quest is over, I guess, they're going to be spawning other dudes, and we'll probably have to fight our way back through here in order to get to Dukino. Not a terrible thing, but, you know, it'll be something that we have to watch out for. I guess theoretically I could just save quit again, couldn't I? But then we'd have to work through Lynchwood anyway, so I'm going to snipe my way through this. It sounds kind of entertaining to me, so we'll do that and see how we do. Excellent. I want to avoid guys spawning behind me. If I can keep all the enemies in front of me, we should do pretty well and build up a fair amount of critical ascension in the process. But if there are dudes spawning behind me, that may be tough for us. I'm not completely out of ammo yet. I'm going to keep an eye on my ammo, obviously, because I don't want to run out and be in a bad spot. So we'll just try to pick up ammo from enemies we kill. As expected, somewhat, these guys are kind of spawning in a somewhat ambush configuration right now, kind of coming at me as I proceed at them, and just kind of spawning, blindsiding me a little bit. So I'm going to keep a close eye on my minimap as I kill these guys here, because I don't want to get too far ahead and have guys spawn right next to me with a shotgun or something that could end my life. Decided to get a little bit close here, just to take these guys out. As I kill these guys, though, like I said, I'm going to keep a close eye on that minimap so that I can see if anything is spawning around me. See, like I said, guys are going to spawn around me, so I'll need to watch out for them. Oh my goodness. The game decided to do exactly what I wanted it to not do and spawn a whole bunch of dudes on all sides of me. So I'm in a bad spot right now. There may even be some dudes back here coming around, so I'm going to try to outflank them. Oh god, they're still spawning. And that guy tried to walk into my path after I had thrown my kunai into him, and that can cause some damage to me as well. Getting low on ammo now, so after I kill some of these guys, I'm going to acquire the ammo from them because that will help me. I do have a fair amount of critical ascension at this point, and so it should actually be fairly easy to kill some of these guys. Wow, they've spawned all the way back up here. I've had to retreat way past where I had started at. I'm not sure if these dudes are infinitely spawning or not. They very well may be kind of like the Main Street area. I don't know for certain. I haven't spent enough time in this area to know. They appear to be infinitely spawning at this point. I'm fairly certain. So, yikes. Yeah, these guys are definitely infinitely spawning. I'm just going to save quit, and my critical ascension didn't go away. I kind of want to fight my way through this. I don't want to seem like a chump for save quitting. But if these guys are just going to infinitely spawn here, I will be chasing my tail a little bit trying to get through this. So I'm going to see if more dudes spawn behind me as I kill these guys. And if they don't spawn behind me, I'll try to fight my way through it. But if they continue to spawn behind me like that, I'm just kind of walking into a death trap, and I don't really want to do that. I don't know where all the dudes went. I guess I almost pushed out there when I didn't need to. Huh. I really thought there was like a gauntlet of dudes down here. I guess I retreated the wrong way. I should have proceeded, and I retreated, and I ran into more trouble there. So, I got a little bit scared there, but we made it through. My bad, guys. I was sketched out. Anywho, we need to get over to Dukino and turn this quest in. Still some more marshals here. I guess these are the guys that kind of spawned after I opened the bank. Now I have plenty of ammo too. I don't know where all that came from. I guess after we walked over all those dudes that we had killed. Yikes. We may die here. Okay, we got those coming in. Thank goodness. I'd like to get kunai on this guy. Hopefully it'll lower his shield, and maybe we'll be able to kill him with at least 1 or 2 critical hits now. Excellent. So Lynchwood is definitely giving me that Wild West feel right now, where it's you know, dangerous to go into town brandishing your weapons. Right now I'm having a hell of a time working through all of this, trying to get to Dukino again. Got a midget boner there. That guy's basically free critical hits, so we'll kill him after we kill this guy. Like I said, a free critical hit basically on that guy. And then we'll head over here and get to Dukino. Ooh, there was a corrosive damage over time barrel there, and that could have been very, very dangerous for me. Now was an appropriate time to re-up on Grim, I guess. Oh good, we got a shock damage over time and a corrosive damage over time. So just brilliant game design there. Really appreciate that. But, you know, sometimes you are going to die to damage over time at overpower levels. People often talk about overpower levels being unbalanced. That is truly the only thing that I find to be actually unbalanced, is the stupid damage over time that you can't survive. They should have capped damage over time scaling at 72. Otherwise, the scaling is pretty much perfect. You know, people bitch and moan, oh, it's hard. It's supposed to be fucking hard. It's an optional difficulty. If you think it's too hard, you know, don't play Ultimate Vault Hunter mode, or Ultimate Vault Hunter mode still actually pretty easy. Don't play overpower levels. They're completely optional. So it's an option you have. Alright, so we'll fight our way back through this and turn in this quest, and then I guess that will be the end of this episode. Oh, we need to pick up Skag Tongues, so we'll do that in the next episode. I probably could have done that in this episode, but I'm pretty much done now. That shock and corrosive damage over time at the same time really put a hamper on my day. That shit's stupid. I probably should have just run through that. God, I hate going into fight for my life. It makes me feel like a fucking scrub, but whatever. It was kind of unavoidable in that situation. Lynchwood has these ambush tactics and stuff. Man, that really harshed my mellow. That really fucking sucked. I hate going into fight for my life. But what can you do if you get a shock damage over time and corrosive damage over time at the same time? Nothing you can really do there. We're going to go ahead and hand this particular quest in. We'll have one more quest, side quest episode, before we start the next campaign DLC, Mr. Torg's Campaign of Carnage. I figured I'd do that so that it would put us at an even 30 episodes before we before we go into that next DLC, and I guess that's good. See if I can't pick up a few skag tongues real quick. Got one. Rabid skag here, so preemptive slag grenade, not a bad idea. Probably should have waited until he was facing the other way. Ooh, got another skag tongue. I think. I thought I killed him with a critical hit. I guess not. Another rabid skag, so prioritizing him, obviously. We'll move over here where we have a little bit more cover. Ooh, I guess that was my last transfusion, so that's not any good. Excellent. So, unfortunately, we took a big hit there, but we did get a skag tongue, so I guess that's good. Excellent. I need some of these dudes to end up dropping slag grenades, or I can get slag grenades from these boxes most likely. So that's what we're doing. Got one slag grenade. Game's being kind of stingy right now. Probably should have bought ammo before I went on this particular venture to get these skag tongues. Decided to extend the episode a little bit. I don't want to let going into fight for my life piss me off that bad. So we'll try to avoid that. Okay, so we've got 3 skag tongues so far. We need to get 2 more, I guess. There should be some enemies up here. Excellent. So now we have plenty of grenades. Should be some skags up here. This is obviously an area from Borderlands 1. If you go back there, you can get to I forget what it's called. It's been a while since I've played Borderlands 1. You can get to that skag area where you have to kill Mo and Marley, I think, are in there. I could be totally wrong on that, but that's what I remember at least. I know if we jump down here, there will be some more skags, and this may be an opportunity to get some more skag tongues. Also some skags right here. So, excellent. Got a skag tongue there and a skag tongue there. So, I guess we're done here. Okay, cool. So that's good. Feed Dukino. Ugh. We have to walk back through Lynchwood. Ugh. Alright, so we'll try to sneak through Lynchwood again, and then we'll be done with this particular episode. Alright, heading back to Lynchwood. And then in the next episode, I guess we can kill Dukino's mom. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Alright guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. I'm sorry I went into fight for my life like a bitch in this episode. That is really, really stupid, but oh well. Gonna go ahead and use execute to sneak a little bit far here. Unfortunately, that is a badass marauder over there, so I don't want him having a line of sight on me, which is why I took the long way around in order to get to Dukino's mom. Now they all appear to be unaggroed. So, wasn't too hard to sneak past them this time. Excellent. So we'll feed Dukino here, and in the next episode, we'll kill Dukino's mom. That may be difficult. I usually fight her in, What? I forgot that we had to walk him through this. Yikes. This episode goes on and on. Unfortunately, you kind of have to follow him through here, which may lead us into another ambush. Hopefully we don't catch a shock and corrosive damage over time again. Ugh. I'm gonna walk past that barrel. And then I still catch the corrosive damage over time. I'm an idiot. Yikes. Torque shotgun? No thank you. So it looks like we were able to get all the way through Lynchwood with Dukino's mother. And then I forgot that we're going to have to clear out this area as well. So that's going to be the actual end of this episode, guys. I'm sorry, I wanted to knock down these side quests. I want to get all these side quests done. I want to finish the game. Thank you very much for sticking with me. Hopefully, YouTube will actually process this particular video. Unfortunately, it hasn't processed my last 2 videos. I wish they'd do 1080p first. I don't know why they still even allow those other resolutions, it just seems stupid and a waste of time to me. No one's actually going to watch something in 360p if they have the choice. Anywho, so we follow Dukino in here, and now we clear out the old mine, and that will be the end of this. So this episode probably ran a little bit long. I didn't watch the time, but why is it rats? I was hoping it would be actual bandits instead of rats. Luckily, they're going after the invincible Dukino, and that works out well for us, actually. They're smart, they'd shoot me. Luckily, they're kind of dumb. Excellent. So, this mutated lab rat, we'll try to kill it. Hopefully, the lab rats get close enough together. Man, Dukino doing work. And he's just totally absorbing aggro. He's gone full brick. He's invincible, and he's sucking up all of the aggro for us. Good Dukino. Excellent. What do we have left? Mutated lab rat here. I'd like to try to get critical hits on this guy. I don't know why. Usually I don't. I just Pimpernel them to death, but and this time I was trying to for whatever reason. Dukino saw that guy bite me or eye me or whatever, and now Dukino's biting the shit out of him. Thank you, Dukino. We work together as a team there. Excellent. The Dukino saga is quite long. Alright, so this is the official end of this episode. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you haven't yet taken the time to subscribe, please do so. And if you already have, or you just plan to catch my next video without subscribing, I do hope to catch you next time. Bye, guys.